Live. Princess Leonor marries Christian, unexpected fans' reaction captured. Madrid, Spain. The air is electric. Crowds gather, flags wave, hearts pound. Today is not just another royal event. Today, history is being written. Princess Leonor of Spain, the future queen, is marrying Prince Christian of Denmark, and the world is watching live. But what no one expected was how the fans would react. What began as joy soon turned into something far more emotional, far more powerful than anyone imagined. In a world where royal tradition meets modern love, this wedding became a mirror of what the monarchy has become: human, vulnerable, real. From the first moment Leonor stepped out of the palace, every camera turned. The crowd gasped. For months, the press had speculated about her gown, her demeanor, her words. But no one was prepared for what they saw. Leonor's gown shimmered like dawn, soft ivory silk, embroidered with the royal symbols of both Spain and Denmark. It wasn't just a dress. It was a statement, a message of unity, of courage, of love beyond duty. Prince Christian, standing tall at the altar, couldn't hide his emotion. His eyes glistened, his jaw trembled slightly as Leonor approached. And that's when the fans began to realize, this wasn't just another royal wedding. It was love unfolding, unfiltered, before the entire world. As the ceremony began, the cameras panned across the cathedral. You could see tears, smiles, awe. Thousands stood outside the gates, watching on massive screens. Many held Spanish and Danish flags together, a rare sight symbolizing harmony. Others simply clasped their hands, whispering blessings. But when Leonor spoke her vows, the atmosphere changed. "I give you not only my heart," she said softly, "but my promise, to walk beside you, through the light and through the storm." Those words hit every heart watching. The cathedral fell silent. Outside, fans gasped audibly. And in Denmark, viewers in Copenhagen squares broke into spontaneous applause. It was raw, real, the kind of emotion that breaks royal walls and reminds the world that crowns still belong to people with beating hearts. But amid the beauty, a question lingered: how did this moment come to be? What led two future monarchs of different nations to this altar, against tradition, against pressure, against all odds? The answer lies years back, in quiet encounters that few noticed. When Leonor was 16 and attending royal functions, Prince Christian was there too. Both heirs, both surrounded by protocol. Yet, sources close to both families say there was always an unspoken bond. Small smiles across rooms, shared laughter during official dinners. Two young souls born into duty, but longing for choice. Their connection grew quietly. Through letters, through brief meetings. Every glance became a memory, every public handshake a story only they understood. By the time the world caught wind of their closeness, it was already too late. They were in love. When rumors first surfaced, both palaces stayed silent. Spain's monarchy, steeped in history, feared controversy. Denmark's royal house, though modern, was cautious. The tabloids speculated endlessly. Some fans loved the idea of a united royal Europe. Others called it impossible. But Leonor and Christian didn't waver. They continued to meet, to write, to hope. And now, standing in front of the world, their love had become undeniable. As Leonor finished her vows, the audience inside erupted in applause. Prince Christian took her hands, his voice steady yet tender. "Leonor, I choose you, not as a queen, not as a princess, but as the one I will love, protect, and honor for the rest of my life." At that moment, even the cameras seemed to tremble. The fans outside began chanting her name, Leonor, Leonor, mixed with Christian. The emotion was overwhelming. Elderly spectators wiped tears. Children waved flowers. This wasn't just a wedding, it was a unifying moment that Europe hadn't seen in decades. Then came the unexpected. As the couple walked out of the cathedral, a spontaneous reaction rippled through the crowd. People began singing, not a national anthem, but a song of love. It started with one voice, then another, until the entire square was filled with the melody. A love song once written for King Felipe and Queen Letitia's wedding had returned, reborn for their daughter. The newlyweds stopped, stunned. Leonor covered her mouth in disbelief. Christian looked at her, smiled, and together, they joined the crowd in tears. The royal guards, the ministers, even journalists, all silent, watching as emotion overpowered protocol. It was pure, human, history captured live. Back inside the palace, the celebrations began, but the outside world was still buzzing. On social media, fans called it the wedding that healed Europe. Hashtags flooded timelines, but more than that, genuine emotion spread across borders. People in Spain posted messages of pride. Danes shared love and respect. Even royal critics admitted it was one of the most heartfelt royal ceremonies ever broadcast. As the night went on, cameras followed the couple's first dance. A soft waltz, but with a hint of freedom. Leonor rested her head on Christian's shoulder. They laughed quietly, whispering words only they could hear. Behind them, King Felipe and Queen Letizia watched with emotion. Queen Mary of Denmark smiled knowingly, remembering her own path from love to crown. The fans outside remained long after the music faded. Many refused to leave, still holding candles, still talking about what they'd just witnessed. "She looked so happy," one woman said on live TV. "Not just like a princess, like a person finally free." And that's what made this wedding so different. It wasn't just about royal protocol or diplomacy. It was about love chosen over expectation. A generation of royals raised under scrutiny choosing humanity over headlines. But the day wasn't without tension. Some conservative circles in Spain whispered that the future queen's heart now belonged to another nation. Can she rule Spain while sharing her life with a Danish prince? They asked. Yet King Felipe quickly silenced such doubts in his address later that night. "A queen who loves," he said, "is a queen who understands her people." Those words echoed across news networks. Commentators called it a declaration of modern monarchy. It wasn't just the wedding that made history, it was the acceptance, the evolution, the embrace of emotion in a world that had long demanded perfection. As the night sky over Madrid filled with fireworks, Leonor and Christian appeared again on the palace balcony. The crowd roared. Cameras flashed. Christian took Leonor's hand, raised it high, and the fans erupted in a chant that could be heard miles away. It wasn't in Spanish, nor Danish. It was in both, a chorus of unity. Viva el amor real. Long live royal love. In that moment, the unexpected fan reaction transformed from surprise to celebration. What started as disbelief had turned into pride. People who came out of curiosity stayed out of devotion. Even those who had doubted found themselves swept away by the authenticity they witnessed. The next morning, newspapers across Europe carried the same headline, "A wedding that changed everything." The photographs told the story: Leonor's radiant smile, Christian's protective gaze, and the sea of fans below, united in joy. In interviews that followed, palace insiders revealed how both families had prepared quietly, shielding the couple from excessive attention. They wanted it to feel personal, one source said. For once, not everything was scripted. And that authenticity resonated. Because beyond the titles, beyond the crowns, what fans saw was something deeply human. Two people in love, choosing each other despite the world watching. Weeks later, during their first public appearance as a married couple, Leonor and Christian visited hospitals and schools, continuing their royal duties side by side. Everywhere they went, crowds cheered, not just for royalty, but for love that felt real. And as the camera panned out that night, showing Madrid illuminated, commentators couldn't help but remark, "We've seen many royal weddings, but none like this." Because this wasn't just a wedding. It was a revelation. That even those born into destiny can choose love. That even behind palaces and crowns, hearts still beat with the same longing as anyone else's. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's wedding didn't just unite Spain and Denmark, it reignited belief in romance, in humanity, in hope. And long after the final cheer faded, one truth remained. Fans didn't just witness a royal event. They felt it. They lived it. They were part of it. Two nations. Two hearts. One unforgettable moment. Live from Madrid, this was love, captured forever.